Hey guys, Philosopher here, and today we're talking about the best characters to take to level 5 ISO. So I will tell you a secret here. I have invested a lot in ISO. I farm not only the 50 core refreshes every day, but I also do the 100 core refreshes. I've also bought a bunch of ISO offers, and as a result, I have a good portion of my roster at level 5 ISO. So I have a good sense of what works and what doesn't work at level 5 green ISO. One thing I will tell you is that nothing in this video is going to talk to you about blue ISO. I am part of the playtest for blue ISO, and I've signed an NDA. But what we're going to talk about is my own experiences, characters at level 5 green ISO, because there's some people now who are starting to get their characters finally to level 5. It's quite a grind. There's a huge jump from level 4 to level 5. And people are asking me, well, which character should I bring? Now, at a starting point, the most important thing when you're deciding whether to bring a character to level 5 ISO is, how often am I using this character? So if you're still running Black Order and Arena, getting Thanos to level 5 ISO is great, whether you're using Striker or Raider, because, hey, that is going to get him more damage. That's going to help your defense hold a little better, right? If you've unlocked Dr. Doom, if you're one of the lucky people who's done that, I totally get that you're going to want to potentially get Doom to level 5 ISO just because, hey, you're using Doom all over the place. Maybe he's going to be your new part of your new arena team. Same thing, obviously, with Silver Surfer. A lot of people are starting to get him to level 5, even 5 stars. I'm not spending the extra cores for that, but eventually, through the Battle Pass, I'll get him up to 5 stars. Some of you may have him at 2 or 3, and I get it. He's one of the top characters. I think he's the best character in the game right now. Yeah, you want to have these characters high. But what I want to talk to you today is, what characters benefit the most from level 5 ISO? And what I mean by that is, what characters get something out of it? What characters, more than just the usual? In other words, when you go up in ISO levels, okay, and you're upgrading these, every time that you upgrade, you are adding, let's say, plus 10% armor. This is off the base stat, not off your total, but plus 10 armor or plus 10 resist. Obviously, everyone benefits off the stats, and if you're using the character all the time, or they're in your arena team, or on your Dark Dimension team, I brought all my Dark Dimension characters up, yes, you want to have your key characters big. But what characters, in other words, go to a new level with ISO? And let's talk about those characters. So I'm going to talk to you about 6 characters in particular. And the 6th one I feel the least strongly about. Okay, the 6th character is White Tiger. And really the reason that I say White Tiger is, look, she's one of the top 10 characters in the game right now. Very important, the most important character in Shadowland to have big. And what I will say is that, with her, the key thing is that she gets 70% speed bar on kill, assuming you have the T4 on the passive, which is one of the 2 most essential T4s to have on the Shadowland team. So what does this mean? Why is this important? Well, look, if she gets the killing blow, she gets speed bar. That's the bottom line. So the bigger you have White Tiger, the better, right? When she gets that kill, she's going to get that speed bar and kill again and go on a killing spree. So that's why she's one of my top choices for red stars. If you've looked at the newest stock watch, and you can check out that video, I linked it below. And the infographic, I have my top 10 red star upgrades. She's number 2 for that reason. The bigger you have her, the more likely she is to kill. And the same thing is true with level 5 ISO. Look, having her level 5 ISO means that extra attack of hers does 100% damage. That's the key thing that happens at Striker here, but she's also gaining an additional 5% damage. That is very significant on top of all the stat boosts, so that definitely makes her a character worth upgrading. All right, let's get to number 5. So the number 5 character is one that you probably have guessed, Emma Frost. So you probably figured she's on this list because you have probably faced a big Emma Frost in Alliance War and found her really annoying. I bet, for example, you might have had a situation where Emma Frost was the last character standing, right? And that is because she has this insane healing that she does to heal herself for 15% of her max health, right? And so, look, when you use particularly healer ISO on her, that gets her additional healing from this active healing. She ends up getting a total of 20% active healing, which benefits that passive heal. Plus, it just makes her stats bigger, right? Because she's getting, she is actually getting extra. She only gets 20% max health here. She gets extra health from the ISO crystals themselves. So all of that works together. She ends up going, look at this, from 353k health to 423. And then, of course, in war, she gets barracks and medbay, give her even more health. She can spiral out of control. So why is she only 5th on this list of characters? The reason she's 5th is because her team is falling off. There are just too many counters right now to the Marauders team. Last month, we got Shadowland, which absolutely decimate the Marauders. You can look on this channel. You'll see lots of videos of me using the Shadowland team to destroy teams with Marauders, even when they put Doom on them instead of Sabretooth. And then also, we now have this month X Factor. So you see this week we had an X Factor video of me punching up 255k with just 2 X Factor. You can only imagine with 3 or 4 X Factor, multiple man's going to slot into that team Polaris. They are going to absolutely destroy the Marauders team, and I just think this team is on the downswing. I think Emma's a great solo character. I think she'll have use in Arena. I think she'll get her own team at some point. But for right now, she's just number 5 for that reason. All right. And now we go to our number 4 character, Dr. Octopus. So look, Dr. Octopus is another character that, depending on what level of war you're at, Doc Ock is a character that also gets solo wins, right? You get a big enough Doc Ock, and of course in war, what ends up happening is he heals for 20% whenever he blocks, which is just insane. And that gets boosted by the level 5 heal. He gets additional active healing. He gets additional health at level 4 and additional health going with the crystals taking him up. And so he just has this massive health pool. You can look here and see how much ISO helps his health pool here, which is significant. And then, of course, he'll get more from barracks and medbay on defense. So a very potent character, good at getting defensive wins. So why is he 4th in this list? Look, he's amazing. He's definitely one of the first characters that came to mind when I thought about this list. But I will say that the Sinister Six team is falling off a little bit because they're so heavily countered both by Axemen and by symbiotes. I've had some recent videos showing those counters. But look, they're still very strong, depending on what level you're at and how big your symbiotes or Axemen at. If people don't have big Axemen at your level of war, this could still be potentially the number 1 person on the list. What I will say is now that Black Order is starting to leave Arena, Doc Ock is one of those absolute key characters, along with Emma, one of the best solo Arena characters. So I do see him being part of the Arena meta, at least in the short term. So he's somebody like Emma who could, I think, do a lot of extra duty for you. And also, he is somebody who's core on the tech nodes in the Doom Raid. He's also really helpful in the for example, Alpha Raid in the city section. He can be helpful. He can also be helpful, in the beta or even gamma raids. But I don't think you need him as much in the Greek raids because there are symbiotes in city, for example. But certainly in the beta raid, the tech nodes, he's very important, and he's very important in the Doom Raid. So definitely a character worth bringing to level 5. He's number 4 on this list. Okay, so number 3 on this list, I think it's a choice that you might be surprised by, potentially. I don't know. It's Bishop. And Bishop, why Bishop? Well, look, Bishop, kind of like White Tiger, scales so well with gear. He is he is the main source of damage on the Axemen team. He is also the protector for the team. So the bigger Bishop is, the better. So obviously getting more stats on him matters. But here's the thing. On Axemen, just like with White Tiger, when there's a kill, you get a benefit. The entire team gets 250 speed bar. That's actually more than White Tiger if you have a full team of Axemen, which is often how you'll be using him on that full team. So getting his damage up here really matters, but more importantly, getting that extra ISO attack matters. That's why, by the way, some of you may have seen some old ISO advice given by content creators before they even unlocked Bishop. That's nonsense that using him as anything other than striker, because you need his high damage to get killing blows, to get turn meter for the Axemen. That's how you punch up big with Axemen. That's how you get great results with them. You can look on this channel. I'll link below some of the videos that I've referenced here, but there are videos where I show you how you can punch up 240k or something with the Axemen. They're very, very powerful when you have a big bishop, and level 5 ISO is part of what makes him powerful. Okay, so now we're down to the last two characters on the list. And it may not surprise you who these characters are, right? And it's very simple. These two characters are the dad bros. So the number 2 is going to be Shatterstar. Why Shatterstar, right? Well, here's the thing. Level 5 Raider ISO gives you an additional 5% crit chance and 10% crit damage. Okay? In addition to giving you all these other stats. But this is key, the crit chance and crit damage. And if we go to the number 1 character, Longshot, it's the same, right? Now, why does this matter? Well, it's because of the Longshot and the Shatterstar passive. So the Longshot passive gives his team 20% speed bar whenever him or his ally Shatterstar crits. And Shatterstar gives barrier to both of them when he or Longshot crits. So the more crit chance they have, the more speed bar they get, the more barrier they get. And of course, and this is a key thing, it builds on itself. It gets them more damage too, right? Because they crit more and they do more crit damage and so on. This team spirals at level 5 ISO. So if you've been watching my channel, seeing how well this team does at level 5, destroying everything, it's partly because I have both of those characters at level 5 ISO. And by the way, not multiple, man. He doesn't really attack in an AoE fashion, but he has just one attack. But Polaris is another character who may be very important to get to level 5 ISO as well. Obviously, not in the game yet, but that would be a character I would expect to be important to get to level 5 Raider. And by the way, all these players, all of these characters could get much better with blue ISO. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. All right, so if you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, go to our Discord at the link below. There's a lot of great discussion of all of these game mechanics there. And of course, also check out our Twitch stream, also linked below.